Nothing like seawater. Good for the corns.
It ain't me feet I'm worried about.
What are you worried about?
You.
Don't. Relax. Don't you like it out here?
It's better in Southend.
You want to retire out here like me?
You retire. That'll be the day.
This little piece of French paradise is all mine. I've got my own villa, ski club, block of flats. The villa you're dossing down in, it's all mine.
I think I'm feeling seasick. Or is it jealous? He'll break his bloody neck.
Like a nice couple, don't they?
Joe tells me he's going to work for you.
Sure.
Legitimate?
Sure, legitimate, Sammy. You know me.
Yeah, I know you. Listen, that boy's my own flesh and blood, and I don't want to see him end up rotting in some stinking foreign nick.
He won't.
I'm here to make sure he won't.
How do you mean?
A few discreet inquiries. And look up an old pal of yours, for starters. Ellen Charlesworth.
Now listen, Sammy, don't embarrass me. You know I don't like to be embarrassed. Just trust me, will you?
Yeah, I'll trust you. About as far as I can throw Buckingham Palace.
You're gonna start digging, mate. Make sure you dig a great big hole. Because you'll probably finish up in it. Just a friendly warning. Jeanette! Jeanette! Dolphin Studios.
Charlesworth?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Bill Stacy. A friend of mine, named Carson, Sammy Carson. He's on his way round to see Helen.
Friend of hers?
No, and I don't think it's a good idea they should meet.
Why not?
Oh, come on, you know Helen. Couple of gins, she gets talkative. There are certain things this friend of mine shouldn't hear.
Well, that's your problem.
It's also yours. You have a good fishing trip last Wednesday? I hear Wednesday's a very good day for fishing.
I didn't think you were interested in fishing.
I'm not particularly. I know one or two people who might be, and you wouldn't want too many people knowing.
I see. Oh, what do you suggest? She might not like that. I'll try. Not at all.
What did he say?
He suggests that Helen takes a holiday.
Ah, good idea. Could be good for my health, too.
Jeanette, what the hell's the matter with you just lately?
You noticed?
Has Helen been bitching again?
Oh, no. We have an ideal wife-mistress relationship. It could go on for years. In fact, I think Helen likes our ménage à trois. She actually smiled at me the other day. Or was it a snarl?
Jeanette.
Perhaps you like it too. John. John, ever since she found out about us, she's got worse.
She just drinks a little more, that's all.
And talks. Stacey, how else would he know about the Wednesday fishing trip? That's why he's afraid of Helen meeting this friend of his. She's dangerous, John. You may not want to face this, but I have to. I'm still young, John. I don't want to get old in prison. I'd rather leave you, if I have to.
Well, you won't have to.
Oh, no. Oh, you think she will give you a divorce? She'd die, rather.
It seems we have a customer.
Yes. Good afternoon. Can I help you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine tells me you do a very nice line in Grecian urns.
Oui.
You've got a pretty classic shape yourself. Well, maybe I better just stick to the merchandise on the shelves.
If you are looking for a good reproduction, what about something like this?
Yeah. Yes, that's very nice indeed. Is Helen Charlesworth home by any chance?
Are you a friend of hers?
Well, a friend of a friend, you might say. Name of Carson. Sammy Carson.
I see. If you wait, I'll see if she's here. It's the one Stacey said would come. John?
I'll deal with him. Jeanette?
Oui.
Be all right about Helen. I promise.
Quite a good reproduction, actually.
That's not really your taste, though, is it, Sammy?
No, that bird in the shop was, though. Anyway, I had to buy something.
Thanks.
So why'd you tell me you were motoring down here?
Well, we didn't really intend to stop. I just got car sore, you know.
And why'd you go to a hotel? I got bags of room here.
Oh, fine. Well, maybe tomorrow, then. You're well set up here, aren't you? This is a typical Stacey villa.
Yeah.
Very nice.
He's got about a dozen of them. And that block of flats down the road and the ski club.
That's how he makes his money, eh?
So he says.
Don't you believe him?
Paulie can't even lie, truthfully. I've known him for years, and he's bent.
Sammy, your nephew's marrying his daughter, not him.
Yeah, but Stacey wants Joe to join the business, and that's a bit I don't like.
Aren't you being a bit overprotective?
Yeah, maybe. I'll know tonight.
What happens tonight?
A little bird's gonna sing to me.
You stupid, cretinous, lovesick idiot. I suppose you were too busy with her to keep your mind on your job.
It had nothing to do with Jeanette. I made a mistake, that's all.
That's all? So what now?
We must just get it back.
May I make a suggestion? Or will I get my head beaten off?
Well,
Why don't we simply tell him it was one of a batch which was badly fired and give him a replacement?
it's perfect. He can see that.
I've already arranged how to get it back.
I hope you can do better than her brilliant suggestion.
It was you he came to see.
Me?
You weren't here. As soon as I realized what had happened, I called him up. I told him that you'd be up to see him this evening.
Oh, did you?
Seemed the obvious answer.
You want me to get it back?
Well, it shouldn't be difficult. He's staying in one of Stacey's villas up by the ski club. He's alone. He's bound to offer you a drink. And one of these should be enough.
Helen Charlesworth.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet anyone new. Particularly someone who's already got the drinks set out. It's all right. I'll fix one for myself.
Be my guest.
Drinks are such personal things, don't you think?
I wanted to talk to you about Bill Stacy.
He's a skunk. All men are. Except you, I hope.
I believe you were very close once.
We were very close. More than once. I've got a friendly nature. Oh, could I have some ice?
I'll get you some.
This yours?
Yeah.
I'll fill it up for you. I don't like to drink alone. Anyway, whiskey does tend to make people a little more friendly, doesn't it?
And talkative?
Possibly. But I want us to get acquainted first. I mean, you a friend or a foe?
Oh, definitely friend.
Good.
Yes, Temple. Hmm? Yes, of course I do know him. What? Oh, that's ridiculous. No, of course not. Yes, I'll get down there right away. Thanks for telling me. I don't believe it.
Believe what?
Sammy's been arrested.
Oh, what for?
Murder.
The facts are quite straightforward, Mr. Temple. He and Mrs. Charlesworth had been drinking. He got amorous. She probably resisted him, and then... something like that.
How was Mrs. Charlesworth killed?
Strangulation.
And what makes you think Sammy did it?
He was still there when the body was discovered by the maid. Bacchus had taken good care of him. He was drunk and unconscious. He remained so in hospital until early in the morning. How long have you known this man, Carson?
Well, long enough and well enough to know he doesn't go around killing people.
Now, this is your authority to see him at the hospital. And I may say you would not be getting it if Scotland Yard had not assured me about you.
Oh, you've spoken to London about this?
I was just checking on their assessment of Carson's character.
And they agree with yours?
Completely. Monsieur?
Thank you. Oh, Commissaire, I do hope you realize that he hasn't been found guilty yet.
Of course. One of my inspectors will take you over. He will be present during the interview, naturally.
Did you make a pass at her?
She wasn't my style, Paul.
Well, did she make a pass at you?
She would have done if I'd given her half a chance.
Sammy, look. She was found strangled and half naked with you lying unconscious near her. You had nail scratches on your face and neck and a big lump on the back of your head.
I don't know about the scratches. She never got near me.
They've already matched skin from under her nails with that of your face, Sammy. They check.
They couldn't have. I didn't touch her. Paul, I just passed out on my feet, and then when I fell, I must have hit my head on something. Well, it's a setup. Surely you can see that. Well, are you going to do something? Or am I just going to lay her with a murder rap stuck on me? Now, Paul, do you think I want to murder a woman I'd never met before in my life and didn't even fancy after 4 drinks? Do me a favour.
What do you think happened, Sammy?
Well, she slipped me a Mickey Finn.
Who? Mrs. Charlesworth?
It must have been. The place was locked up.
And after you passed out, she calmly unlocked the door and just let in her murderer.
What's the matter with you?
It's all right, Sammy. We know you didn't do it. Paul's just trying to get at the truth, aren't you?
The police have checked all the drinks glasses, Sammy. There's nothing but whiskey in them.
I know it sounds crazy, but it was a setup. It must have been.
Was Helen Charlesworth the little bird who was going to sing to you last night?
Yeah.
Who was the song about?
Bill Stacy.
Well, how are those two tied up together?
Well, she was his bird for a couple of years. I figured if anyone knew what was going on, she did.
But she didn't sing.
No, there was no time.
I see.
So you think she helped set you up for Stacy and he murdered her to frame you?
No, I'm sorry, Steve. I know that sounds logical, but no.
What do you mean? What do you mean, no?
I mean, the police have checked that too. Stacy's got an alibi for the entire night.
Oh, so you think I did it?
Of course I don't. All I'm doing at the moment is collecting the facts. The thinking part comes later. Get some rest.
Now, don't worry, Sammy. Paul won't let you down. See you later.
Seems you have a watertight case.
I think so. The facts are indisputable.
But you haven't charged him yet.
I'm a careful man, Mr. Temple. I like everything to be tidy. I like every little piece of the jigsaw to fit neatly.
And this doesn't.
Would you and Mrs. Temple care for some coffee?
Oh,
Oh, thank you. Yes.
yes, thank you.
A moment.
I must say, I think you could have been a bit more sympathetic with Sammy. Oh, what are you doing? Paul, if he comes back.
I don't think he will. He's a crafty French copper.
What do you mean?
I mean, I think he meant me to. It's clay, isn't it?
Isn't what?
La glaze. Raw clay?
Coffee will be here soon.
What was all that about La Glaze?
It's French for clay. Raw clay.
So?
Fascinating. Let's have a look. Well, we won't open that with a hairpin. You know, I think I saw... How's your head for height?
How did you talk me into this?
Ah. Well, if you fall, I can catch you.
I see.
Have a look round the back. How are you doing?
Just a minute. I think I can get...
Steve? Steve!
What a stupid place to put a pot plant.
Breaking and entering, Mrs. Temple.
I'd call that more entering and breaking, you. You must be Bill Stacy, Paul Temple.
You went to see Sammy this morning.
Mm-hmm.
How is he?
Well, how would you feel with a cast-iron murder case against you?
You want a drink?
No, thanks. It's a dangerous habit in this villa.
You think he did it?
Well, what I think is neither here nor there. That's what the facts say.
Did Sammy have anything to say?
Oh, yes, yes. He said you did it and framed him.
Did he say why I should want to do that?
No, not in so many words. But he seems convinced your old habits are dying hard.
They're dead. Stone dead.
Like Helen Charlesworth. Apparently, Sammy thought she was going to be a good source of information.
She was a drunk, a gossip.
Well, maybe that's why she was killed, to stop her from talking.
About what?
You tell me.
I'm a shy man, Mr. Temple. I get embarrassed when people talk about me. Sammy was embarrassing me. But I didn't frame him. It's not my line. Now, you two want to hang around and help Sammy, you be my guest.
Oh.
Only don't embarrass me.
Well, what about Sammy?
The facts say he did it. Tough.
I don't think I like him. So now we're in. What are we looking for?
No idea.
Surely the police will have turned the place inside out.
Bound to have.
You know, this really is rather good. The original amphoras were about 3 feet tall.
Really?
That's strange.
What?
It's different.
What is?
This amphora, there's something odd about it.
Really? What exactly?
I don't know, but there's certainly something different.
What would you say this is?
What?
Could be. I wonder if Sammy's nephew knows about this business.
I saw him this morning.
And? You believe he did it, huh?
No,
Did he tell you about Stacy?
but I don't believe it.
So you are going to join Stacy in his business, are you?
Well, wouldn't you? Bird like Sally, good job, all this sunshine. What more can a fella want?
What Sammy was trying to give you? Peace of mind.
Have you any others?
Yes, but they're all the same.
Exactly the same.
Exactly.
I see. I'll take it.
Merci.
No, don't bother. No. Thank you.
Did you have to see her? Did they make you recognize the body?
I didn't feel a thing. Not a thing. She looked... Well, you wouldn't think she...
I'll get you a drink.
So, now you've got a pair.
We have now, but we wouldn't have done yesterday.
How do you mean?
This one I've just bought is the same as the one we saw at the villa this morning. But they're both different from the one we saw there last night.
How different?
They're running the other way.
The
The figures, look. On the one Sammy showed us last night, the figures were running in the opposite direction, right to left.
You sure?
Positive.
Oh, so somebody switched the one that Sammy bought for one like this, hmm?
Last night. Find the other urn, find the murderer. Well, doesn't it prove that Sammy didn't do it?
No. It merely proves somebody swapped the urns.
Paul, I'm beginning to think that you believe Sammy did kill this woman.
Well, the facts are pretty conclusive. Talking of facts, let's see if yours are right.
Well?
Conclusive. But what we don't know is whether the other one we saw was different. For sure, that is.
Paul, what's the matter with you? Sammy's your friend. You can't believe that he
Didn't
killed his...
say that. I said that the facts show
Oh,
that he...
damn the facts!
Well, I wish I could.
Where are you going?
I'm going to see if the condemned man ate a hearty breakfast. Dinner.
I've been over it with you twice already. I've told you everything.
Yes, everything's an elusive thing, so let's have it again. The doorbell rang.
And I went to the door and let her in.
And then what happened?
Well, she made a beeline for the drinks and helped herself. And she made one for me.
Well, she made them?
Yeah, I was busy getting her some ice.
She asked you for ice?
Yes, to put in the drinks, you know?
Paul, don't you think Sammy's had enough? And what's the point? We know he didn't do it.
From a legal point of view, that's exactly what we don't know.
Oh, some people have very funny friends.
Sammy, one last question.
Get lost.
After Steve and I left you last night, did you have any other visitors?
No. Only Helen Charlesworth. Now get out. If you want to ask any more questions, see my lawyer.
All right, Sammy. If you think of anything else, let us know, will you? Oh, incidentally, we're moving into your villa tonight.
Oh, charming.
Ah, morning.
Morning.
How would you like your eggs?
I wouldn't. Thank you. I'll have some rolls and marmalade. No, on second thoughts, I don't think I'll have anything. Just coffee. Thank you.
Well, not like you to go without your breakfast. Well-known author off his food? Too bad. Meanwhile, his best friend languishes in jail. What are you going to do about him?
Do you know, I remember once when I was a very small boy.
Stick to the point.
I was standing at the top of a long snow slope, and I made a little snowball, and I started rolling it down the hill.
Paul, what are you going to do about Sammy?
This snowball went on rolling and rolling and rolling and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and in the end it started quite an avalanche.
I'm not interested in your boyhood memories.
But it was fascinating, you know. I just started this little snowball rolling. Where are you going?
To have a bath.
Oh, I thought you'd already had one.
I'm going to have another.
Ah, can I come and scrub your back? After all, man doesn't live by bread alone.
As far as I'm concerned, you do.
Oh dear, Trojan woman stuff, eh?
I never heard of anybody dying for the lack of it.
Abstinence makes the heart grow fonder.
Then you should be pretty fond of me by the time I'm finished. And I thought you weren't hungry.
I'm not going to give up everything.
Paul, Oh, Paul, come on. What are you playing at?
Playing at?
Sammy! What's going to happen to him?
Well, he'll have to stand trial, of course.
Paul, I know you. You don't really believe that he did it. I'm in no mood for your subtleties.
All right, then. I'll be quite frank. The evidence is completely conclusive, and the police investigation has been efficient and scrupulously fair.
You can't believe that Sammy's capable of such a thing.
Steve, I'd like nothing better than to prove he didn't do it.
Then you could at least show some sympathy, give him a little hope.
Darling, Sammy didn't kill that woman. Now, you know it and I know it. And I have a feeling our clever French policeman knows it. I think he meant me to look at that file on the case.
Why?
Well, police methods of investigation, you see, are all bound up in bureaucratic procedure. But I've got a lot more freedom. Maybe he thinks I can dig out the truth where he can't.
How?
Told you. By making a snowball.
Stacy was broke when he came out here.
So how did he make his pile?
He had enough money to buy a motor yacht.
You mean he made a fortune out of that?
Ran a charter business for a couple of years.
And the accounts show good profit.
Very.
Must have been like the Queen Mary to make that much money.
No, that's it over there. He bought it with Helen Charlesworth.
With?
Yeah, she put up 50% of the money. And when he went into the real estate business and bought the holiday villas, he sold his share in the boat to her.
What's your opinion of Stacy now?
Well, I still think he's clean.
And Sammy?
But he wouldn't hurt to fly.
You know this man Carson well?
Reasonably well, yeah.
What is it that makes people do such things? We've been here 15 years now. Built up quite a nice little business. We export all over Europe.
Really?
If it hadn't been for Helen, I would never have got anywhere. You've seen Carson?
Yes, I have, twice. Export all over Europe, hmm?
Yes.
You know, these are very fine.
One of our best lines.
Yes, I know. My wife bought one of these here yesterday. I thought I'd rather like to have a pair of those. You know, it might be an idea to have one with the motif running in the opposite direction. You don't make them like that by any chance, do you?
Frankly, no.
Oh, pity. Well, it was just an idea. Right, well, I'll take this one then.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, by the way...
Yes?
I was down at the harbour trying to hire a boat for the day. Seems it's rather difficult, and somebody told me I should try you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you had a boat that you hired out on charter.
My wife used to, but this last year we've only used it for personal pleasure. I'm a keen fisherman.
I see. Well, thanks anyway. Wednesday. Yes, that is curious. What was the reference? Just a minute. Oh. I see. Well, now we seem to be getting somewhere, don't we? I'll be in touch. Bye-bye. And it's Wednesday tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes.
How's Sammy?
Depressed. You starting a collection?
No, I'm trying to corner the market in
Paul.
those things. I have a feeling they're very valuable, what?
Paul. Sammy and I have worked it all out. He couldn't have done it.
Really?
Jeanette and Charlesworth sold Sammy the wrong urn deliberately.
Why?
So that Helen would have to come here to get it back.
Yes, but...
No,
but...
please, don't interrupt. She fixed him a drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then she let somebody else into the house. Now, for my money, that was Mr. Charlesworth. Now, when Sammy had passed out, he comes in and murders his wife. Then he takes one of her hands and scratches Sammy's face and neck with it. Well, after that, all he had to do was walk out with the amphora, leaving the other in its place.
Yes, it's very plausible, except for one thing.
What?
Motive. Why on earth should Jeanette and Charlesworth bother to do a thing like that?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
She talked him into killing his wife because she wanted to marry him.
It's still not a strong enough motive, you see, Steve. I'll tell you what, though. I will go along with your theory if you can tell me why somebody swapped the urns. It's quite a problem, isn't it? I think it's got something to do with fishing. I'm going to start rolling my snowball now.
Dolphin Studio, Charlesworth here.
You're going to have to pay for protection, Charlesworth. You're going to have to pay. Are you still listening?
Who is this?
Are you going fishing tomorrow?
Are you sure you have the right number? I don't understand.
You understand all right, Charlesworth. So do I. Don't worry, I'm not the police. I just want in, that's all. You make your trip as usual tomorrow. I'll be in touch.
Well, who? Stop him.
Stacey's boys from the clubhouse. He said he was just larking about, but I think he was sent to stop me following Charlesworth.
Paul, I don't understand. What's all this about?
It's part of mine.
Snowball?
Yeah. Did Charlesworth see you?
No chance of that. He was out to sea.
Well, it shouldn't take him more than an hour. Give the lovely Jeanette a ring and let's hot the pace up a bit. Ask them to send some to an address in London, name of, Smith.
Morning, Temple.
Morning.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I thought I'd better call personally. Carson has escaped from the police hospital ward and is running around loose somewhere with a gun.
Oh, well, that was always on the cards, I suppose.
Excuse me, I'll be in touch.
All right.
Carson's nephew, yes?
Yeah.
Carson hasn't done himself any good by this. It will be in the news, and you know what people will think. Inevitably, it will prejudice his already bad case. If he turns up here, I want him back quickly. Then there won't be any publicity.
Where did you get the gun?
One of my men who got at the hospital, he attacked him. Please, for your own safety, call me.
If he turns up here, I'll let you know straight away.
I don't think it's likely he'll turn up here, knowing what a staunch friend he has in my husband.
Not your lucky day, is it?
I want it sent off today. Understand?
Yes. I understand.
What now?
He wants £30,000,
30,000.
but not in money.
What do you mean?
He wants it in exports, our usual kind. He wants a case made up and sent to an address in London.
Did he say who?
An address in London and name of Smith.
He knows something, doesn't he?
Could all be an inspired guess or bluff.
He knows about this.
So what do we do? Pay up or ignore him?
How can we ignore him? It's clear he knows enough to go to the police. We just have to pay up.
£30,000 worth?
We have no choice. When do we make the consignment?
He said today.
Why here, Sammy?
Because it's quiet. And I don't want to embarrass you in front of the neighbours.
Sammy! Sammy, you're making a big mistake.
It's enough from you, friend.
Sammy!
Now, Sammy, don't! Don't, I'm gonna have to thump you. Ooh. All right, now, Sammy, calm down. Calm down! All right, I'm sorry, Sammy. Come on. Sammy, will you stop it? Stop it! Stop it, Sammy! Will you listen to me? Listen, stop it! All right, all right!
All right.
All right? Stacy had nothing to do. You're strangling me! You're strangling me!
Paul, stop it! Both of you, stop it!
Come on, Sammy, cool. Oh, look out!
It's all a big mistake, Sammy.
Yeah. I was embarrassing you, right? Asking awkward questions about your setup here, right? Questions that Ellen Charlesworth knew the answers to, right? Right?
Right, yes, you're right.
So you set her up to slip me and Mickey Finn, and then you whipped in here and gave her the benefit of your great airy paws, right?
No, wrong.
Wrong indeed, Sammy. Well, partly right. You were running a racket, weren't you? But that stopped several years ago, When you sold your boat to Helen Charlesworth, you also sold your current business interests and you went legitimate.
You got a clever friend, Sammy.
You mean he is straight now?
Oh, yes, yes. He's a legitimate businessman. That's why he didn't want you digging up the past through Helen Charlesworth. Could have been very embarrassing. And Mr. Stacey doesn't like being embarrassed. Just between friends, what was your business? Well, never mind. Be fun finding out, won't it? Come on, Steve. Sammy, do me a favor. Call the police and give yourself up. And trust me. Ah, hello. Just taking a drive around. I thought we'd pop in. My wife's very interested in pottery. You've done a little throwing yourself, haven't you, darling?
I must apologize for him. He's in an intolerably bright mood this morning.
Just hold that, would you, Steve? I do hate those things, but they do have their uses sometimes, don't they? Right, let's take a look around. Yes? Special consignment.
John?
What the devil are you up to? I'm following a snowball. Yeah, I'm sure I know that fella, Smith. Well, the name's familiar, anyway. He's going to? What are you after, Temple? I thought I said. My snowball.
It's all right. He hasn't been drinking.
Now then. Motive. Why did you kill your wife when it really wasn't necessary?
What the hell are you talking about?
You left telltale traces behind you.
Like glaze, of course, Clay.
The police forensic report showed minute traces on your wife's clothes and on her throat.
It's ridiculous.
Why would I kill my wife? Because you couldn't trust her. She drank. She could be indiscreet. She was a risk. Now, why? What was it you knew?
Temple, you're making a hell of
You
a...
did it? You killed her?
Of course not.
So sorry.
Will you get out of here?
All in good time.
You said he killed her.
Jeanette, he's just trying to make...
Shut up! I want to hear what he has to say.
Ah, a willing listener. Thank you. Well, you see, if a man has a secret motive, there's really only one sure way of getting it out of him, and that is to work on him and work on him, without him knowing it, of course. Until finally he tells you the secret because he thinks you know it already. It's sort of a blackmail.
There is no secret.
Well, there must be, mustn't there? To justify the murder. I thought you said you didn't do them with the motif running in the opposite direction.
Just stay where you are, Mr. Charlesworth. You may know what all this is about, but I'm dying of curiosity.
Thank you, darling.
Find anything there, you know. You realize, of course, that we shall charge you for the damage.
Naturally.
I make that about £80 so far.
Oh. Do I get a discount for quantity? You collect whatever it is out at sea in your launch. Probably from a passing cargo vessel, and then you distribute it throughout Europe in these things. What is it, I wonder, drugs?
I regret to say, Temple, you're making a complete fool of yourself.
Yeah. Well, it went with the first time.
Darling, I know you're having fun, but try the handles. I think they might be hollow.
Huh. Why did you let me run up such a bill first? IDB.
What?
Illicit diamond buying. These are uncut diamonds. Oh, I shouldn't bother Mr. Charlesworth. I wouldn't trust my wife with a loaded automatic in a million years.
You bastard! Bastard!
All right, that's enough of
I
that.
don't think they were really meant for each other, do you?
Taking away one.